Hey wrestling fans, welcome to another episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I am your host Lance Brock. Thank you for tuning in to episode 303. Wherever you are listening to, hopefully on Spreaker. And gonna start off this episode, gonna be talking about the most recent Monday Night RAW, the go-home show before this Saturday's SummerSlam, live from Madison Square Garden on USA. The commentators, Jimmy Smith, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves. And we kick things off on Raw, already in the ring, brawling, The Miz and Logan Paul. And then we see the Bloodline, the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Paul Heyman. Heyman says that Brock Lesnar will no longer be tied into the legacy of Roman Reigns as the greatest of all time. And then we see Mr. Money in the Bank, Austin Theory, come out. Or just Theory, I should say now. They got rid of the Austin part. And Roman tells Theory that Daddy isn't here anymore, talking about Vince McMahon. That was really the only mention of Vince on tonight's episode. And if he keeps it up, and then Roman will be his new daddy. And Drew McIntyre and Theory in action. McIntyre gets the win via disqualification after the brawling brutes interfere and attack him. Lashley makes the save for McIntyre, and then we have a tag team match, Drew McIntyre and the United States Champion Bobby Lashley, as they defeat Sheamus and Theory. And after the match, the Usos come back out and super kick Theory. Theory, as of late, has been teasing cashing in on whoever wins the Universal Championship match, or Undisputed Championship now, this Saturday at SummerSlam. And then we had the 20th anniversary celebration of his WWE debut for Rey Mysterio. Comes out with Dominic. We see a good video. He gives a good speech on the mic. Of course, thanks Eddie Guerrero, thanks Dean Malenko, and others. And then a tag team match, the Mysterios, or as their new shirt says, Los Mysterios. They defeat the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest. And then we have kind of like a party backstage with Leah and Angie backstage, and they give him his original WCW gear back from Halloween Havoc 1997. And then we see Rhea Ripley as Aaliyah gets in her face, and Rhea shoves her away. And then Rhea grabs Dominic, drags him out of the room, and then when Ray goes out there, Balor and Priest attack him and powerbomb Ray through a table. The Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, and Becky Lynch get into a brawl, and they have to be separated. Alexa Bliss does a dewdrop, and then Ronda Rousey puts dewdrop in an ankle lock. Logan Paul hosts the debut of his new talk show. Impulsive TV called out The Miz, but Maurice came out instead. She warned Logan Paul not to talk about her kids or her husband's package. And then The Miz comes out, and then Miz gives him a skull-crushing finale. They'll be going one-on-one this Saturday night at SummerSlam. Tag team action. AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler defeat Alpha Academy, Otis and Chad Gable. I kind of liked Styles and Ziggler together as a team, in my opinion. Then we get the main event, the Bloodline, the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, and Roman Reigns, and the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, the Usos, defeating Riddle and the Street Profits. Reigns pins Riddle to score the win for his team, and then they make their way to the back, and Seth Rollins comes out and attacks Riddle and gives him a curb stomp on the steps to end this episode of Monday Night Raw. So that was tonight's Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden, and this was the first episode of Raw right after the retirement of Vince McMahon was announced. And where are they? They're at where Vince McMahon always considered WWE's home, Madison Square Garden. So overall, not a bad episode of Raw. I wouldn't say it was real great either, but not bad. Got SummerSlam coming up this Saturday. And talked a little bit about it the last episode, a little more, the Vince McMahon. And now, apparently, WWE has announced that Triple H is the new head of the creative team. And should be interesting to see that. And like I said on Raw, the only mention of it really was what Roman Reigns said to Theory, calling Vince his daddy, since Vince, for a while now, has been calling Theory his chosen one, or whatever. And got SummerSlam coming up this Saturday. Hope to have a recap of that on 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Also, this Sunday, Jim Crockett Promotions presents Ric Flair's last match. The main event, Ric Flair and Andre El Elio taking on Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. I have to admit, the last couple weeks or so have got me a little interested in it. Some very good matches also going to be on this card. The Wolves taking on the Motor City Machine Guns. Every major promotion in pro wrestling today just about will be represented this Sunday night. Also hope to have a recap show of that too. I know this was another kind of short episode, but hopefully we'll be getting back to more longer episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Thank you for tuning in, and just a reminder real quick, there's a new way you can support 360 Wrestling Podcast. I talk about Anchor.fm, how you can donate and support on there. Anchor.fm/360-wrestling-podcast 360. I'll put that in the description like I usually do, but also there's a new way, streamlabs.com/360 Wrestling Podcast. You don't have to donate, but if you can, spare a little bit. Even if it's not that much, help out, support 360 Wrestling Podcast. It would be very much appreciated. I don't think we have to be live for you to donate, but I just started the Streamlabs and tried a stream for off Thursday the other day, but didn't work out too well. I'm just getting the hang of Streamlabs, but I think you can still donate at any time. Once again, it's streamlabs.com/360 Wrestling Podcast. I'll also put that in the description as well. Got a big wrestling weekend coming up, as I just talked about. Thank you for tuning in. Also, the email 360wrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. All the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. talk to you again soon. But until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.